Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So, I have a new thought process in my mind which I wanted to share with you all. This is called Project AI. Okay, so this Project AI is all about like how we can leverage artificial intelligence and take the benefits from the artificial intelligence in terms of running a business, right? Driving the entire business model. So, this is how it goes. Artificial intelligence is taking boom in the recent years, right? So it's taking boom in the recent years, and there is an estimate of about 15 trillion market share by 2030, and and the recent boom that we have seen is like chat gpt 3.5 and 4, the versions are coming in, and then we also see that we had bard. So people are like completely overwhelmed with the kind of advantages that we get with ai, and also the the tasks, the various tasks that it can do. So these applications are more general purpose applications. So when I say they are more general purpose applications, they can help someone in learning new tasks, new skills. They can provide ideas, and definitely there are some advantages and disadvantages. The advantages is that one person can increase their skill, and ultimately the productivity is increased. The second part is the negative part of it. So that is the data security. So you can't put your organization data into chat gpt or bard, so that would be a data breach, so a security concern there. And so since you can't use the internal data, you can't derive the proper insights for an organization. Okay, so coming to the next point, so this is the operating model that we currently use in an organization. So we have an organization who has a CEO and multiple functions. There would be multiple functions like HR, marketing, like sales, and then IT operations, and then security, research and development. All these functions actually form an organization. So what's within an organization is that a specific skill set. So we have multiple applications which support a function. So we have all these applications which support a function, all these applications starting from a1 to an, right? So this can be in couple of thousands, like so PepsiCo uses almost like 2300 applications, and a mid-sized organization uses somewhere around like 700 to 600 applications for their business model, right? So all these applications, so if you cluster a particular function, they use multiple applications, and these applications are interacted with the human brain. So that is the actual workforce or a group of teams or a brain power that actually works on this particular application. So what does this brain power have? They have something called skills, right? For example, if it is a HR, they have some skills of how to use LinkedIn and how to use various tools that are related to HR function. And if it is like sales, they use multiple applications that are related to sales. Networking have their own tools, and every team has their own tools. So applications, brain power, and the skill sets. So the skill sets are like, you have thousands and thousands of skill sets that are necessary to drive an organization, right? So now, using this brain power, using this entire operating model, what's happening is we are driving the entire business model, and this model gives you like what this defines how we run policies, what are the policies that we have, what are the processes that we follow, and what are the exact procedures that we do to accomplish certain tasks. And on the leadership layer, we do make some decision making skills that are necessary using all this model, right? So this is the current operating model of an organization. So now this is going to be the proposed operating model of AI ready organization, right? So we have a company. Similarly, we have all the functions like HR, research and development, IT operations, and everything, all these functions. They also use the applications, but here we are going to use the brain power of the people, and at the same time we are also going to make use of the artificial intelligence. For example, if we look at this particular point, right? So right now it could be like 5% or even less that we are using AI in our daily tasks, right? You don't put your organization data, but you just get some insights on how to write emails, you do translations, you do you ask for some process planning and stuff. So less than 5% of AI is being used in this particular stuff in the current model. But in the proposed model, so we are going to use the data that is derived from these applications inside a particular function, and we're going to train these models with the AI. We can use all sort of AI related techniques that covers in machine learning and deep learning, neural networks, supervised, unsupervised learning. So we can use all sort of AI stuff here, and the ratio, if you look at how we can distribute the work, is 50% of brain power and 50% of AI. So in this model, I think the brain power is more than 90%, and the artificial intelligence percent is less than 3%, right? It's somewhere 97 is to 3 kind of a ratio. So if we come with this particular business model, so we should target at, like, start with, increase your artificial intelligence presence by 10% and 90% brain power, and slowly we can expand on it. What is the benefit that you get by using this particular artificial intelligence framework is you're less biased, right? Humans, they generally tend to have a more biased approach towards certain things, and using artificial intelligence, we can take away that human error and biased thinking and decision making stuff. So the second advantage is all data driven. So since we have a huge stack of applications and thousands that we use in an organization, we can leverage that particular data, feed in that particular data based on the sectors and the functions, or even boils down to the team size, and integrate that particular data into the AI models to derive better business insights, right, or task insights. So it is more data driven, and you can get more insights, and you have better resource utilization, and you get new insights, and you become more productive, and it is also cost efficient. So these are some of the advantages that I can think of right now on top of my head. So how can we achieve this, right? So what are the means, like what should we do? First thing is, we need to have a new function that is called AI. So this will be the AI function. So this function will add in to the functions list, and we have certain apps, and we can use the certain apps, and then this boils down to the brain power and the AI power. So this function will derive the standards for using the artificial intelligence within an organization, right? There should be AI as a function in the organization. Like I said, we'll create an AI function, and then we evaluate the current use of AI and brain power. So we'll find out what is the ratio. What kind of ratio are we having right now? So are we at a 97:3%, or are we at 90% or 10%? First thing is to evaluate this particular stuff. So there are different means in which we can find this one, and slowly start to increase this ratio of AI more. And we should look at, 3 years, 4 years, or like at least like a 1 year plan, and then a 2 years roadmap and a 3 years roadmap, and try to increase the capacity of AI, right? So that's one thing. So the second thing is, we need to form a core team in this particular function that we build of AI function. So there would be different roles and responsibilities, starting from leadership, the org structure for that particular function, and all we need to derive. So there are going to be 2 primary aspects which I'm going to discuss later, but setting up roles and responsibilities for this core team is very important. And next thing is train workforce, right? So since we are planning to have an AI related operating model for our organization, we need to have the workforce to be trained on AI ML models. So most of the key stakeholders of the organization should have a clear understanding. So for that, we need to have a proper learning curve towards the AI and make use of all the models that we have. And the second thing is come up with process to take industry standards and evaluate apps that are AI powered. So we have a lot of applications that are coming in from AI side, right? So for example, the firewalls, we have Cisco, we have Palo Alto. There are a lot of firewalls related applications that we can use, but they might be coming up with AI. So there should be a process of evaluating a new inbound application into the organization as to how much is it ready with the AI. Do we have the supported APIs that can work with the open AI stuff, right? So that's one thing that we need to look at. And there are a lot of things. What applications need to come in, what applications should not come in because that's not AI ready. So those evaluations will be done at the AI function. So the next thing is like make all the inbound and outbound technologies that are coming to fit into the process of AI framework. So if an application suits, it comes and sits in the application, suits the AI model, it would come in. If it is not fitting into the AI model, then we'll try to evaluate a different AI model, right? Okay, so now the third thing is like how effective is this model proposed? So this model is 100% effective if deployed properly. Right. So what it takes to be AI ready is like one, both workforce and leadership should be AI ready. So that is the first thing. And second thing is like we get the data insights on AI ML technologies. So the entire workforce, their applications, their brain power, everything is being fed into the Deep Insights AI technology framework. And this is governed by the AI core team. Okay, we can start small with little initiatives and then slowly expand on timelines. Like how I told you, the ratios work out in the same way here. Start slow and then speed up things. Like we can follow, crawl, walk, and run. So we can take that particular approach here. And why is this 100% effective? Is because since all the apps and digital transformations that we have in the organization today, they derive a lot of data. So we have a lot of data, and with the data, if we use AI ML, we get a lot of insights. So that's why this particular model is more effective. AI can take in multiple and large data sets and draw insights. Every sector/function can use their own data collected from apps and train data and draw insights. Okay, so by doing this, we have the intellectual property of an organization within the same organization. It's not going, so there's no data breach. At the same time, we have AI ready. So organizations become AI ready. So next part is like what are some of the challenges that we come across this particular business model is we need to convince and motivate our workforce as well as the leadership towards the change, right? So generally humans, they are very it takes a lot of motivational leadership and to move people to move into the new technology era. So it also depends on what kind of a skill set, that what kind of people that you have on board, but moving them towards AI is one challenge definitely. The second thing is develop core team and build a brand new function. Like I already told, we need to build a function. Until unless we have a function, we cannot evaluate the proper use of AI, because everybody would be doing bits and pieces of AI in their own limbs. You can have a lab, you can do, everyone would be using it, but we cannot measure the organization's success of using AI and how much the organization is mature towards AI, right? So having a function would have that particular team or a core team or like that particular function to drive the statistics and the reporting structure and the roadmaps and all would be reliant on this particular function. Okay, now So another challenge is we need to hire a fresh talent who are already trained on AI. And when we talk about getting in the fresh talent for this particular function, there are two aspects. One is the leadership. So we need to have proper leadership who understands AI and take necessary actions. And at the same time, also need to have certain technical expertise and technical expertise, like using different models on how to drive the teams across, and what courses need to be bought in. So there are two aspects here. One is the fresh talent and the other is the experience bucket. So there are two approaches here, and the overall we need from the freshers level to experience to the leadership level, everyone should be related to AI in this particular function. Okay. Next challenge is getting the necessary budgets from the for this new proposed plan, right? So getting budgets is very important because you would be consuming a good amount of budget to transform from the old operating model to the new operating model, and evaluate how work is reacting to the new operations model and course correction, right? So another challenge, like I told, to evaluate what percentage of distribution, what ratio that we have, maintaining what is the brain power, what is the human power, what is the artificial intelligence power. Coming up with such calculations would need some evaluation, like what can be done. So that is one challenge, but there are means how we can achieve this. Capturing the value, opportunities, and improvements, right? So using AI, you would come up with some innovative stuff. You would be even actually stamping up with some putting your foot on some latest innovation that you can turn that into a sub business within the organization. So opportunities, we need to capture that opportunities and take it forward. So we need to have a proper roadmap for that. And how are we driving value? How are we increasing the value? How effective are we with the cost that we are investing, and what is the returns that we are getting, right? So what is the current business model, what sort of revenues that the current business model is bringing, and what revenues this new model is bringing, is something that needs to be evaluated. And the third thing is like improvements, like you can over the journey, you need to improve the AI implementation thoroughly, like I said here. So increase this particular ratio, balance it at somewhere around like 50% in 4 to 5 years from now. Okay, so that's one thing. And come up with timelines, like you start your journey in the July 2023. How you want to look yourself in July 2024, 2025, 6, 27, and 28, right? So this is the overall structure of this project AI.